The first domino of the Boston Celtics offseason has fallen in the form of a Jrue Holiday trade, but there could be more moves to come, and they could be coming very soon. I couldn't start today's video, though, without thanking Jrue Holiday for all that he gave to the Celtics, helped us lift Larry number 18, and made play after play during his 2 years in Boston. So clap it up for Jrue. Shout him out in the comment section. Hopefully, he'll see this video and know how much the Celtics fans love him. But the Celtics do have a new player in tow right now after dealing Holiday. Anfernee Simons, you are a Boston Celtic, and Brad Stevens is making moves. So if you're happy about Anfernee Simons coming to the Beantown, go down below, hit that thumbs up icon right now. What's going on, Green Teamers? You're watching Celtics Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Tyler Smith. And on today's show, we can't really have much time to talk about Anfernee Simons and his fit with the Boston Celtics because it looks like Brad Stevens is going to be making more moves and more moves quickly. NBA insiders from all the outlets, all the publications around the NBA world are saying that the Celtics are not done making trades, and these trades could be coming in the next few days as the NBA draft begins tomorrow. So let's get right into it. First, let's go through the trade details of Boston's move last night, trading away Jrue Holiday back to the Trailblazers, the team that they originally got him from 2 years ago, and acquiring Anfernee Simons as well as 2 future second-round picks. Now, the second-round picks, they're not officially, out there yet to the public, but I think I saw a tweet and I couldn't find it about them being in 2030 and 2031. One of them's Portland and one of them's in other teams. Regardless, not much to really kind of get into there. Celtics get, honestly, 2 picks out of a Jrue Holiday trade when many speculated that they might have to attach draft capital in order to move him. I thought this was a great deal for Brad Stevens to kick off the 2025 NBA offseason, but it doesn't look like he's done. Charania quickly, after announcing the details of the trade, came out and said this: an extremely active offseason begins for the Celtics. With the trade of Jrue Holiday, who played a crucial role in Boston Celtics' 2024 NBA championship, the Celtics remain engaged in trade talks surrounding multiple key players on the roster, according to sources. Very vague from Shams, of course. What could that mean? Could it mean Porzingis is next? Could it mean Sam Hauser's next? Could it mean Jaylen Brown or Derrick White could be on the trade block? We have no idea at this point, but we're going to try to break it all down on today's show. Adam Himmelsbeck with this tweet as well, kind of tying in Simons here a little bit. There's a league source said that the Celtics acquired Anfernee Simons, who's on an expiring deal, because they like what he can bring to the roster, but added that, quote, they will remain engaged on all fronts. People have speculated a little bit. Could Anfernee Simons potentially just be flipped by the Celtics again this offseason or maybe down the line to the trade deadline? I'm pushing back a little bit on that to this point. I think he's going to fit very, very well in Joe Mazzulla's offense and can fit very well next to Jason Tatum once he returns in 2026, 2027. So what's the other moves that Boston could make? Well, we know that they could be happening very soon, as this quote just came out from Brian Robb of Mass Live. As a league source tells Mass Live that the Celtics are very active in trade talks even after the Holiday deal, and more moves could be on the horizon as soon as the next 48 hours. You guys, strap in, grab your popcorn. The Celtics are making moves. Let's look at their table at this point as they get off about $5 million, $4.5 million with the Jrue Holiday trade. Now that brings their projected salary next season, when you factor in their first-round pick salary, to $226 million. So the luxury tax bill is still going to be hefty, but the Celtics did get off about $40+ million in their luxury tax bill yesterday. The goal, we all know, is to get under that second apron, which is at $207 million. Currently, the Celtics are around $20 million, $18 million above that. So more moves need to be made. Let's go to this next diagram here from Bobby Marks, who laid it all out. And there's a lot of numbers here. You don't have to pay attention to all of it, but the real line that you have to worry about is the bottom line there. You say below A2, below the second apron. That number right there, negative $18 million. That is how much salary that the Boston Celtics need to clear in order to get below the second apron and be a more financially flexible team with less restrictions overall in order to improve the roster. That's the goal this offseason. With the ownership change, they don't want to have a higher luxury tax bill than their actual payroll, so they got to get off a little bit more money. More moves are to come. So they still have to clear about $20 million because it's never going to be, straight up $18.043 million or whatever it is out there. So they're going to have to make potentially multiple moves here, as it's not exactly easy to get off a full $10 million+ in one swing of a trade, like we saw last night with Holiday going to Portland. I thought that they were originally getting off a little bit more money than they were, but it only came out to about $4.5 million. The luxury tax bill and the money down the line is really what kicked it for the Boston Celtics to make this trade, but they still have to get under that second apron by the next NBA trade deadline. So time is ticking and moves are going to be made. And when those moves do get made, because it's not really an if anymore at this point, we will make a video for you guys. So lock us in, hit that subscribe button. This is why you subscribe. When the Celtics making their next trade, we're coming immediately with the video. Last night when the Holiday deal went down, I grabbed the computer from Marshall Green's backpack and I went up there and recorded a video. We're bringing you the up-to-the-date Celtics coverage like nobody else on YouTube. Lock us in, hit that subscribe button, and turn your notifications on as well so you know when we post. All right, let's get to this real quick from Keith Smith, because the whole Celtics kind of trade mantra is like keeping things in-house. He said, under Brad Stevens, the Celtics never make the moves you hear all the buzz about. They do a pretty good job at working in silence. And that helps them as a potential trade partner because the other side, they know that they don't have to worry about the trade talks getting leaked or being around the scuttlebutt in the league. Kind of keep it in-house, and that's why the Celtics end up kind of looking like winners in a lot of their trades on paper when they get done. Now, let's transition to where the Celtics go from here. Who is next on the trade block? It seems at this point that it is Kristaps Porzingis. Jay King of The Athletic reported that the Celtics are now shopping Kristaps Porzingis, and apparently, according to some, there are a lot of offers on the table. Could be a little bit of a bidding war that we didn't exactly expect. Brian Windhorst also reported this, saying, Porzingis, I definitely think that they are in discussions with, and again, you can't just trade him off. They would be trading him for a player, probably who makes less money. That's who this was, Anfernee Simons. Kind of fits with Boston as a three-point specialist. They would need someone to be sort of a big man, starting level big man for Porzingis if they made this deal, but look for a Porzingis thing. Look, it seems like KP is next on the block here. He's got a $30 million expiring contract, and we will see how much salary that Boston can actually shed with a Porzingis deal. There's only a very finite number of teams that have actual salary cap space and real room to absorb close to $10 million or more in a Porzingis deal. So we'll see how it all shakes out. Who knows if Boston will actually get as much salary cap relief by making the Porzingis deal. Maybe the players that they end up getting back will have to be flipped later down the line so they can create more of that flexibility. Brett Siegel reported this, though, on the Porzingis interest around the league. He said the next order of business for Boston is a Porzingis trade. As he enters the final year of his contract, Porzingis has drawn interest from several teams in both conferences. The Pelicans, the Golden State Warriors, Los Angeles Lakers, Atlanta Hawks, and Toronto Raptors are a few of the 10 to 12 teams that have been in contact with the Celtics recently. That's crazy. I did not realize there would be this big a market for Kristaps Porzingis after the encore production that he was having kind of down the stretch of this past season. Now, there is a couple of conflicting reports here. The Athletics Lakers reporter did say and come out that the Lakers are not interested currently in a Kristaps Porzingis trade. Now, does that mean that they didn't throw an offer out there already that the Celtics kind of rebuffed? Maybe that was the case, but I don't know. Kind of conflicting reports here. Seems like we don't have to worry about the Lakers, being the only team that's interested. It seems like there is definitely some interest around the league and could end up being a bidding war. Boston could make out like bandits trading away Kristaps Porzingis. Jake Fisher with another team on his radar in the Porzingis sweepstakes. He said the Spurs, according to sources, have held some exploratory talks about trading for the 7'2" center. That would certainly be a fascinating scenario for Porzingis if you were to land with the Spurs and Victor Wembanyama. I mean, wow, that would be absolutely insane. The Twin Towers down there in that front court. But look, in a Spurs deal, honestly, I think if you just give me Harrison Barnes and one of your smaller deals, call it a day. I'm good with that, honestly. Celtics need another wing with Tatum kind of out for the count for this next whole season. So have a guy in Harrison Barnes who's on an expiring deal as well. Just bring him into B-Town. Why not? Get another scorer in there as the Celtics are kind of trying to revamp their offense for 25-26. But look, the Celtics are going to have to make a Porzingis trade. I trust in Brad Stevens to be able to make the right moves here. So I'm not going to be too worried about the return. Clearly, nobody knew about this Anfernee Simons thing, and everybody is making Brad out to be a genius right now. I'm sure that's going to continue as the offseason rolls on. And we'll talk about more Celtics trade rumors in just a moment, but I got to make sure that you guys are hooked up with the Celtics 2025 draft hats. Draft's less than 24 hours away. We got to get on this. Look at this fresh hat, too. By the way, it doesn't say draft or anything on there, so you can wear this 365 days a year. I just think it's a fresh Celtics hat there in that green. We also have the white with the green brim as well. With this link right here, you can get yours today. Chatsports.com/Celtics draft. Get the green, get the white, whatever looks fresh to you. I think the draft picks will be wearing this one when they walk across the stage. So if you want to look like them, go get yours today at this link. Chatsports.com/Celtics draft. All right, Brian Windhorst did continue his quote from earlier about Porzingis with this, saying, as for the other two star players, I don't think Derrick White and Jaylen Brown are players that they want to trade. Having said that, though, If someone calls with a gigantic offer, I think they would have to discuss it. And that's something that we've heard over the past couple of weeks. Like, these teams could be throwing monstrous offers for Jaylen Brown and Derrick White. But what we know now is that Brad Stevens moves in silence, and he will make the right moves. Look, I don't want to trade Jaylen Brown. I don't want to trade Derrick White. But if the right deal comes along, a team's throwing you like their entire treasure trove of first-round picks plus players that can make an impact right away, then Brad Stevens is going to make that move. It's a right financial and right business decision, and right basketball decision overall to make this team as good as it can be for years to come. So with that being said, I don't think that Derrick White and Jaylen Brown are the next to go. I do think that Sam Hauser is the next likeliest trade piece after a Kristaps Porzingis trade. I really do think that the focus is going to be on KP, moving him right now. And then after that, say you create, $5, $6 million, $7 million in a Porzingis trade. Well, then you can send Hauser away into some team's non-taxpayer mid-level exception slot, and you can create a full $10 million there. So you can get under the second apron by just making 3 moves this offseason. I think after the Porzingis deal, Hauser would be the one to go, and I think he's going to have a lot of suitors around the league, as everybody is going to need a 6'8" movement shooter that can defend at multiple positions. I like Hauser, but unfortunately, seems like it's going to be a cap casualty at this point. What do you guys think? What's the next move that Brad Stevens is going to make? You let me know down in the comment section. Is it a Porzingis trade? Is it a Hauser trade? Or is he making a big swing trading away Derrick White or Jaylen Brown? You let me know what you think in the comment section. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, because if any of those moves go down, we're going to bring you the latest right here at Celtics Today. And as the rumors go on as well, we will bring you the latest. And we'll be live for the draft as well in the middle of the first round. So lock us in, hit the sub button. We're giving you the best offseason content on YouTube. We'll see you guys all in the next one. And as always, let's go C's.